Hi, this is Craig Molson with my case study on internet use violations for EDL 850 for spring of 2013. Problem identification and analysis. What do I know? Roosevelt High School is in an affluent city where parents are of professional standing for the most part. The principal there is Dr. Forbes. He has been there for 9 years. He has an upstanding reputation in the community and amongst his peers. He was named the Principal of the Year by his peers. Miss Walker has been hired to teach specialized science classes. Miss Walker is a first-year teacher. Although she's a first-year teacher, she is older than most first-year teachers. She continued on with her education and got her bachelor's and also another year of postgraduate work after that. Students in Miss Walker's classes are high-level students. They are regularly competing for salutatorian and valedictorian honors. There have been several complaints of Miss Walker's teaching style directed to Dr. Forbes. The rigors of Miss Walker's classes are causing high levels of stress for her students due to the way she presents the information and the expectations she has for the students. Dr. Forbes has addressed concerns with Miss Walker but has not yet seen any of his suggestions implemented in her classroom. Miss Walker has received an email with a link to a website that had suggested comments to her personal behaviors and rigors of her classes. The website also had a threat to Miss Walker. Miss Walker had suggested to Dr. Forbes a student that may possibly be responsible for the website. What do I need to know? I need to know who is responsible for the website. I need to know if the website was built with school equipment on school grounds. And I also need to know what the district policies are in regards to the situation. Identify the problem. Ms. Walker received an email with a link to a website with suggested comments about her personal behaviors and critical comments about the rigors of her class. The website also contained a threat to Ms. Walker. Plan of action with appropriate strategies or implementation. First thing is to gather information. I would make copies of the website and email that Ms. Walker received. I would inform the superintendent of the situation. I would contact the technology department to ask for help in looking into the situation on the internet side of things. And then I would check the district policies that are in place at that time. Next thing I'd do would be to support Ms. Walker. And some of the ways I would do this would be make regular visits to her classroom to help her maintain an orderly environment and that this isn't causing problems for her or her students in her classroom. I would visit with her about my support for her, and then I would hold a faculty meeting to make all staff aware of the situation, and then ask them all to be listening for information and report that to me immediately. I would use the information I gathered to make a determination of action. Was the website made in school or with school equipment? If so, I would follow the district policy on internet abuse. If not, the next step that I would be able to do would be help Ms. Walker with her legal options at that point. Resolve issue based on promoting the success of all students. Standard 5. An education leader promotes the success of every student by acting with integrity, fairness, and in an ethical manner. The success of all students is influenced by Ms. Walker feeling supported and comfortable in her classroom. By having a presence in her classroom, I will help her feel at ease and continue teaching. If she's not at ease and is struggling with the situation, the students are going to suffer as well. So I feel it is best for me to have a presence in there and help her get through this time. I don't think right now would be the time to address the classroom concerns with Ms. Walker. That can wait until the issue at hand has been resolved. I would not want to encourage this type of behavior to happen again in the future. That would not be best for student success. The students can't think that this is the way to handle a situation like this, and I would not want to promote that. By gathering information and not jumping to conclusions with the student Ms. Walker suspected is acting with integrity, fairness, and in an ethical manner. It's very important in a situation like this to gather information from as many places as you can and then make a rational decision from there. Debrief the problem. What was I thinking, feeling, and valuing? The first thing I thought of was Miss Walker's safety. I think that's very important in this scenario. A threat was made. More than likely, they would not follow through with it, but in this day and age, we could not make assumptions like that. I wanted to make sure Miss Walker knew she had my support through this very trying time. I felt responsible for not making sure she had implemented my suggestions in her classroom. I feel if I had done a better job and gotten her to make a few small changes, that may have helped her in her classroom and prevented this problem from happening. Unresolved issues. Obviously, the problems in Miss Walker's classrooms will need to be addressed at a later time, but are important concerns. It's just not the right time to deal with it, but it definitely needs to be addressed and visited with Ms. Walker about. Look into district policy to make sure it covers a situation like this, and if it were to occur again in the future. Maybe something we would need to update policy or put new policy in to be able to handle something like this. I'd meet with all the students to be sure they understood the severity of something like this and that it is taken very seriously from the school's perspective, and it's not just a prank. How did I act with integrity, fairness, and in an ethical manner? I made sure to contact my superiors. I kept confidentiality of all involved with the situation. I understood that Miss Walker's classroom needs improvement, but I did not act in a manner that would encourage future behavior of this type. I addressed Miss Walker's classroom at an appropriate time. I did not immediately question the student that Miss Walker believed to be responsible. I gathered my own information and went from there. My concern was the safety and well-being of all the students, staff, and Miss Walker.